Yes, people, and welcome back to your daily Liverpool content news show. And today we're talking about Ibrahim Konate to Real Madrid. This is the sources and reports that are coming out. Breaking news: Ibrahim Konate to Real Madrid. The deal is accelerating, according to the Spanish outlets. Um, LA, sir, the outlet states that Liverpool are seriously considering selling this summer if he keeps refusing to renew his obviously contract. Now, obviously, there's a few more that yes, obviously, Liverpool are seriously considering the contract. Obviously, Madrid Zone also tweet out the exact same thing, and they're saying that the player only wants to join Real Madrid. We know that Ibrahim Konate has been linked to Real Madrid, I would say, for the past 3 or 4 months, ever since really the Trent Alexander-Arnold news kind of broke. And the same people that broke the news about Trent are breaking the news about Konate. Marca has reported it. Other Spanish outlets are reporting that Ibrahim Konate does want to go to Real Madrid. We know he's been linked with Paris Saint-Germain previously in the past. My instant thoughts and opinions. I mean, look, if we were to sell Ibrahim Konate, I would want and demand minimum 50 million, which I think is fair enough for a player that's 1 year left on his contracts. You could argue he's definitely top 4, top 5 centre backs in the world. Definitely one of the best in the Premier League. And you look at other players who are going for around about 50 million. Mark Gahey, Crystal Palace value him at 40 to 50 million. And Ibrahim Konate is by far the better centre back. So I think even a 50 million price tag on him is fair enough. And let's not forget, guys, we sold Trent Alexander-Arnold with 2 weeks left on his contract. So a player that's got 10 mil for 2 weeks left on his contract, 50 million for Ibrahim Konate is a fair value asking price. And I'm going to be gutted if he goes, man, because the one thing with Konate, which he's really improved on, is his actual fitness. You go to his overall games that he played last season in the Premier League. He played 31 games in the Premier League. The season before that, he played 22. Obviously, he's had injury problems the past couple of years, but last year he was really, really, really good in his fitness. He also played 4 games in the EFL Cup and 7 games in the Champions League. So he effectively played over 40 plus games. And you go back to the previous season, he was clutching at 30 games. So he massively improved his numbers by 10 to 12 games this up and coming season. And that's just due to the way he has been managed, the way that we play football. So he's not actually having to constantly burn his hamstrings. And you look at the actual injury that he actually picked up against Real Madrid, funny enough, it was Endrick who was constantly going in on fouls on him. I remember literally as soon as the full-time whistle went, he actually went skidding in for him. And that was the injury that he picked up. That was the reason why he was out for a bit of time in the season. So it was not like it was an injury that was down to him or an injury that was picked up in training. It was literally an injury because some guy just couldn't leave him alone and just was constantly fouling him. Now, do I think Ibrahim Konate will leave? I think it would be heavy, heavy risk. For me, I've been on this stance. I'd rather him go for free. My opinion, name me a centre-back in world football that we can probably arguably replace with Ibrahim Konate right now. Bastoni, probably. But I feel like that'll be somewhat of a transfer, probably more likely for next season. And I just don't think he's going to leave Inter Milan as of right now. And then you look at the other centre-backs in world football that we can bring in to actually replace Konate, the monster that is at the back. And obviously, we know Real Madrid do need centre-backs. Obviously, I know they brought in Dean Huijsen, who's been very good for them in the Club World Cup when played. But they do need small centre-backs because Asensio's got Bojo genes in him. You got Rudiger, who's getting on a bit. He's making mistakes, more and more mistakes now. You look at the game against Paris Saint-Germain, and that was clear, obvious that they do need to bring in more centre-backs. And obviously, Ibrahim Konate is one of the options. We know PSG have been heavily interested in him. But it looks like Real Madrid are the clear favourites, guys. And according to the reports, Liverpool are seriously considering selling him, and the deal is accelerating. I've got a feeling Real Madrid might bid for him. Whether that will get accepted is obviously another situation, but I do think Real Madrid will bid for Ibrahim Konate this window, and that is why I do think we are going to accelerate our interest in Mark Gahey. If Mark Gahey was to replace Ibrahim Konate, I'll be heavily concerned. The one thing that Gahey has over Konate is effectively he can play more across the back three. He can play in a back three or back five. I think Konate can do the same, but he's got more experience, Gahey, as he's done with Palace and England, and he can also do a role at left back. Now, if he was to overall replace Ibrahim Konate, I'd be absolutely massively concerned, because I do think the drop-off between the two is quite big, in my humble opinion. Konate and Virgil van Dijk was arguably the best partnership in world football last season. You could argue Gabriel or Saliba, you take your pick. But as a partnership, they are definitely top 2 or top 3 minimum in world football and in the Premier League. Guys, do let me know, do you think Ibrahim Konate will leave? Do you want him to leave if it was to get a decent offer for him? Is 50 million, like I said, a decent offer for him? In my opinion, yes. When you're seeing the likes of Mark Gahey being valued around about 40 million plus, I don't think for a player that's got 1 year left on his contract as well, that's also on cheap wages, on 70 grand a week, I think Ibrahim Konate is. But I do feel like more likely he's probably going to leave next summer. It is the Real Madrid thing to do, to let their players come down onto a 1 year contract. We'll give you a massive signing on bonus, a big wage and structure. And yeah, I do think if Liverpool offer him another wage contract and he rejects it, I do think it's very much telling that he is going to be leaving Liverpool Football Club this summer, after reports of 2 contracts have been rejected by him. Now, the question is, now we don't know all the facts in the info. We don't know how much Liverpool are offering him. We know Konate wants around 200 grand a week, which in my opinion, I actually think is quite fair. You look at other centre-backs that are on that asking price. I think Konate, for one of the best centre-backs in the world, I don't think it's a, I don't think it's a bad asking price. And obviously, yeah, Marca are coming out and saying that Konate has rejected 2 contract renewals. And obviously, his current deal does run out next summer. If we're offering him, let's say 120, 130, 140, 150 mark, then I think Konate is within everything of his rights to probably reject that. When you do look at other centre backs who are on a similar wage, and obviously just to confirm and show you guys, Konate is on let me find his name, 70 grand a week. You got Joe Gomez on a slight bit more. Madashvili has only just come in. Frimpong's on more than him. But the thing is, with the wages that are going to be freed up this summer, with the likes of Chiesa, you got your Nunez's on them, that's going to be freed up. Costa Simicas will probably leave. Diaz is on 55 grand. He looks like he'll leave. There's a lot of contracts wage to be released for Konate, hopefully, because I do not want him to leave the football club, and hopefully he will stay. But guys, do let me know down below, do you think Konate will leave after rejecting 2 alleged contracts? It looks like the deal is accelerating. Is this worrying for Liverpool Football Club? We are going to have to wait and see how this does develop in the recent days and weeks, with our first pre-season game in 2 days' time against Preston. We will be doing a preview for that, people. If you do enjoy the video, make sure you are smashing that like button and you are subscribing to the channel. And we're also on TikTok. My TikTok is footyreactstv. You can also follow me on Twitter as well, footyreactstv. Many more socials. We're going to be posting on those contents daily now, as we are pushing towards 2,000 subscribers. We want to get to 2,000 subscribers before the season does start. We're at just over 250 subscribers always. If you can help me do that, that will be massively appreciated. And also make sure you are hitting the like button up as well. But we will be back very soon, probably talking about Konate to Real Madrid. So make sure you are staying tuned with that as well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, enjoy the sun, etc. Take care, goodbye, and up the Reds. Let's hope Konate does not leave the football club.